Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Priscilla again, and now I'm going to read you a story. It's called Sleeping Beauty. And some of you may have heard it, but anyway, this is the story. There was once a king and a queen who were childless. They had always wanted a child, but for a long time had none. Then one day they happened upon a frog who said, "Within 1 year you shall have a child." And at the end of the year, a beautiful daughter was born. The king called for a royal feast to be held, and what a grand feast it was! It seemed everyone in the kingdom was invited. Even the fairies were invited, that is, all except one. There was one fairy who was most wicked, and the king prayed that she would not hear of the feast, but she did. She appeared in a terrible rage, for in truth she was angry and hurt that she was not invited. She placed a horrible curse upon the poor child, crying out, "When the princess reaches her 15th birthday, she will prick herself on a spinning wheel and fall dead." Without another word, the fairy vanished. Everyone was horrified, but another fairy quickly stepped forward, saying, "Though I cannot break this wicked curse, I can soften it. The princess shall not die, but will fall into a deep sleep." Ooh, got something on me. Let me see. Looks like my doggy's hair. Been petting my doggy. Anyway, sorry. Everyone was horrified, but the good fairy stepped forward and said, "Though I cannot break this wicked curse, I can soften it. The princess shall not die, but will fall into a deep sleep that will last 100 years. The king was so fearful for his daughter's safety that he ordered all the spinning wheels in the kingdom to be gathered up and burned. As time went on, the princess grew into a beautiful and thoughtful young woman. Now it happened that on her 15th birthday, the king and queen were away from home, leaving the princess quite alone. She decided to take a walk through the castle that morning, and in a little room she found an old woman busily working on a spinning wheel. "Good day, Granny," said the princess. "What are you doing?" "I'm spinning, my child." Spinning was unknown to the princess, so she begged the old woman to let her try. She had barely begun to spin when she pricked her finger and fell fast asleep. The king and queen, upon their return, also fell into a deep sleep. The curse was fulfilled. In fact, everyone in the castle fell fast asleep. The evil fairy then cast a wicked spell, and a huge hedge of briar roses grew up around the castle. The briars were so high that they surrounded the castle like a fortress wall. As long as the princess lay asleep, all were forbidden to enter, lest the curse be broken. But many tried, and many failed. The legend grew up in the land that there was a lovely sleeping beauty, Briar Rose, within the castle walls. Knights came from far and wide to all try to rescue her. All soon found themselves lost or trapped in the briar hedge and died miserable deaths. After many years had passed, a young prince came to the kingdom and heard the story of Sleeping Beauty. He determined that he would try to save her. Now luckily, on the day he entered the briar hedge, 100 years had passed, and the princess was to wake up that very morning. The hedge opened up before him as he made his way to the castle. He entered the castle and found the king and queen asleep on their thrones. The prince searched throughout the castle, where he found the cook, the maids, and even the princess's pet doves, all fast asleep. At last he reached the room where the princess was asleep. There she lay, looking so beautiful that he could not take his eyes off her. He knelt down and gave her a kiss. As he touched her, she opened her eyes and smiled. They went down together to the court and found that the household, too, had awakened. The brave prince and Sleeping Beauty fell in love at once and were married shortly thereafter. The wedding was celebrated with a grand feast, and the two lived a very long and happy life together, and of the wicked fairy, no one ever saw her or heard from her again. And that's the story of Sleeping Beauty. I hope you all have pleasant dreams tonight, and I'll be back again next week with some more of my stories. Some of them will be true, and maybe a few of them I'll just read from old stories. But you have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye.